Attention, a homewrecker! Attention, a homewrecker! Alright. Hello, everyone. So, as an Ariana Grande fan, I need to talk about what is going on the internet right now. So, if you're not aware, Ariana Grande has... oh my goodness, her reputation's deceased. Ironically, someone who's friends with Colleen. No, but there's a lot going on with Ariana Grande right now. And before I get into this and say my opinions of it, I want to make something very clear. I, first and foremost, hand to God, I'm an Ariana Grande fan. Hand to God, I am an Ariana Grande fan first. However, the stuff I've heard on Twitter is... I mean, she looks like an awful person on Twitter right now. So there's this article has been sent to me, which is breaking down everything, and we're going to get to it. So I don't know exactly the details. I'm aware of the overall points, but before people are like, oh my God, another, like, and people will be like, oh my God, yet another man hating on a woman. I want you to know that first and foremost, don't call me a man. Call me a boy. A man, I don't feel like that puts so much pressure on me. I'm a 20-year-old boy. See, even that sounds weird. In a James Charles world, we cannot be saying stuff like that. You know what? I am a man. I am a man. Anyway, so I'm an Ariana Grande fan. So anything I'm saying here is really, really, really just like a general opinion, but also someone who's a fan of her. I love her albums. I love her work. And I'm a huge fan. I have lovely memories with Ariana Grande, but we're going to get to this article, okay? So it's called, What is Ariana Grande Doing? Buckle up, I'm going to explain. And this is from Heather Schwindel. Lovely name, I like that. Fun to say. So here we see Miss Ariana Grande, and then we see this. Now, on first inspection, this looks like her brother, Frankie. Now, I'm going to show you a tweet that I did. If you're on Twitter right now, you have probably seen this picture. If you've seen this picture, you should be due compensation because it is such a triggering photo. This right here. This is one of the scariest photos I've ever seen in my entire life. This literally looks like Ariana and her brother Frankie. This actually looks like Ariana as a man as well, kind of. Like, this is such a unsettling photo. 95k likes? Oh, I did not know that got 95k likes. I need to do more of these tweets. So anyway, again, everything I'm saying is someone who is a fan of Ariana Grande. She's always my most listened to artist at the end of the year. Blah, 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 blah. Go to all of her concerts. Love her, met her, blah, 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 right? But even people you love are not immune to criticism, especially whenever they do things that are like this. Can I get back in focus, please? Hi. Hi. Ariana, please. Let me film. Ariana, just a moment of your time, please. Hello, Ariana's PR team. Will you let... hi! So, this photo is scary. And this is Ariana Grande. And this is... what is this motherfucker's name? Ethan something? What is his name again? He's fucking SpongeBob SquarePants. He's a theater kid, obviously. No shade to theater kids. I mean, I was one. What is his name? Ethan Slater. Oh, here he is. Ethan Slater. So this is Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater, who plays SpongeBob on Broadway. Listen, I used to be a Broadway kid. A Broadway kid? I used to be a theater kid. I can make fun of y'all. I think theater kids, as one, like, I've retired, you know, from being a theater kid, but I think that they're honestly very annoying, because I think I was annoying whenever I was a theater kid as well. No hate to all the theater kids out there. I'm saying this because I was whenever I was a theater kid. I think they can be quite annoying. This is all love, by the way. And this is very a generalization. But the people that I hung out with whenever I was a theater kid, oof, fuck me. Some of the most annoying people you've ever met. And they would probably say the same thing about me. So, and by the way, the nastiest people you've ever met. Some of the people I've met in theater are the nastiest people that I've ever met. But a lot of them were lovely as well. Whoa! Hello? So, all love to the theater kids out there, but most of y'all are fucking annoying. And there's that. sorry, people are going to comment and be like, this is really disrespectful. And the fact that you said this is actually really bothering me. And this is such a generalization term. And I'm like, yeah, it is, because enough of you are boring for me, or boring, sorry. Enough of you are annoying for me to generalize you altogether. But also I used to be one. So anyway, so this is Ethan Slater. And this is Ariana Grande. So this is Ariana Grande's married boyfriend. If you just need a little bit of catching up. In case you just need a little bit of catching up. This is her married boyfriend. And you may be wondering, wait, wasn't Ariana Grande just married? Yes, that is true. She was married to a man called Dalton Gomez, I think. And he was like a realtor. He wasn't someone who was really in the social media world. God, she looked beautiful during her wedding day, really. Wow. Wow, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, yeah, Dalton Gomez was Ariana's ex now. And this is what they look like on their wedding day. I mean, their photos are really beautiful. Not Pete. Let me try see what else I can load up here. Here he is. Interesting type. But anyway, so yeah, this was her husband that she was still with until like a few weeks ago, or maybe like a month ago or something like that. Because I mean, at the start of the year, she posted like, we're this many years married and we're this many years together and I still love you and blah, 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 blah. And then she was seen without her ring on, and then the speculation happened. Now, Ethan Slater, you know, the one that looks like Krusty the Clown, he was married and has a kid. And the messiest part about all this, before we jump into it, so this is my knowledge of it right now, is that he is a munchkin on the Wicked movie that Ariana Grande is playing Glinda in, which is crazy, just above anything else, that Ariana Grande saw like someone playing a Wizard of Oz munchkin and was like, oh my god, you're so fucking sexy and I need that. Like, I need that so much that I like need to like break up your family. So yeah, he plays a munchkin in The Wizard of Oz, and she plays Wicked. Wicked's Glinda, right? And at the time of Wicked's filming, which films in London, I'm pretty sure Ariana Grande's like family and stuff were back in LA. This is all alleged. I'm pretty sure his were as well, or maybe they had moved back and forth. But obviously Ariana Grande was spending a lot of time on set, and Ethan Slater was spending a lot of time on set, and next thing we know it, the news breaks that Ariana Grande has filed for divorce or is getting a divorce. And now, as someone who is an Ariana Grande fan like myself, this was not shocking to me, because Ariana Grande seemed so, compared to her other relationships, I mean, we never heard about Dalton Gomez, and, you know, people could say, oh, it's just because he's so private and stuff, but I was like, it seemed so quick, and it seemed so fast, and then they were married, and I don't know, as someone who was a fan of Ariana, I just always had a weird feeling about it, and a lot of Ariana Grande fans thought that way. But Ethan Slater's thing is a full different thing. Like, I mean, full family, you know, together for way longer and stuff like this. And yeah, next thing we know it, the news drops that Ariana's getting a divorce. And then the next thing we know it, the news drops literally like days later that Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater, remember, okay, trigger warning. So these two are dating now, and they're both working on the Wicked movie. Their partners are at home, and now these two are together. So I want to get to this article to figure out exactly what happened. So let's get to it. It says, didn't Ariana Grande just get married? Yup. Shady. Not too long ago, the 30-year-old singer married real estate broker Dalton Gomez in May 2021. So not that long ago. It was a relatively quick romance. They got engaged after about a year together. Didn't that happen with Pete as well? Pete Davidson that she was with? I mean, Pete Davidson doesn't have the best history with women, so like, let's not, you know, put too much on Ariana there. Then they married after a 5-month engagement. So very, very, very quick. All seemed well of a few months ago when Grande marked their 2nd-year anniversary with an Instagram story. So this was what I was talking about at the start of the year. She was like, yay, like, I love you and I'll love you for so many more, you know, months. I meant to say years, but she meant months. And also something that's really interesting is Ethan Slater had posted pictures for like Mother's Day and like Father's Day and stuff of his kid. And Ariana was like liking them and stuff. And, you know, the dates line up as when obviously they had started dating and stuff, but the partners allegedly did not know. And I mean, news has dropped today that apparently Ariana was hanging out with him and his wife's kids and stuff before the world knew that they were dating. And it's very, very, very weird. It's very, very, very weird. Like, very, very, very weird. And the wife of Ethan Slater is getting a lot of backlash right now because she's, like, calling all the media stations and is, like, telling them all what's happening. And everyone's, like, coming... Well, it's mostly Ariana Grande fans, but at least I'm, like, a sane one that's like, you know what? Good for her. Like, I would have a vengeance for Ariana Grande if, you know, my husband went off to work. And he's equally to blame as well. Like, I would be calling them all. Like... I don't understand why she's getting any backlash for it. And obviously we don't understand people's relationships, but to like, for both of them to be in a relationship and then they're both dating, it's like, and especially when there's a kid involved, it's really weird. So then earlier this month, she was photographed at Wimbledon in London, hanging out with Jonathan Bailey, the Bridgerton actor, and he is also one of her Wicked co-stars. By the way, this is for anyone that's watching that's an Ariana Grande fan. Any of y'all in chat? Any of y'all? Or if you're watching this after, let me know. This era of Ariana Grande has been the worst era to defend her. Like, it has been the worst era ever. Like, I mean, like, I used to have stan accounts and stuff for her. It has been the worst era. She has, like, left all social medias for, obviously, mental health reasons, and that's completely valid and stuff. There's like no interactions ever with her audience. Even if it was a social media intern, like there's no interactions, there's no effort made to the fans. I mean, the extent of what she does for her fans now is post like makeup promo, and I think whenever artists start to do that to keep your audience, you really do have to like do updates alongside that. I think like Ariana or Selena Gomez is a perfect example of this. Selena Gomez doesn't necessarily release that much music these days, and she posts a lot of you know, makeup stuff, right? She posts a lot of this makeup stuff. Rare Beauty is doing incredible, but she posts a lot of TikToks. She posts a lot of Instagram photos. She does a lot of things on the side, which is kind of like not directly just looking at your audience like a cash grab. And Ariana just completely disconnected from her audience. And hey, if she's doing it for mental health reasons, kill it, girl. You know what I mean? However, I think there's ways to do it that don't completely ostracize your audience, which is hiring a social media person to tweet on your behalf or something. That's very common within the industry, to go completely radio silent, and then whenever scandals like this happen, like they're defending you and they think that you like will not. It's just really fucking weird. You know, also, and she's jumped into this Wicked movie. It seems like everything bad has happened to her career after joining this movie. I mean, public scrutiny for her is so overwhelming ever since she joined Wicked. I mean, the unfortunate amount of comments on her body is disturbing and disgusting. And I mean, she's had to address this multiple times. It seems that the media turned on her a couple months ago, and I don't necessarily know what the reason was for that. And it seemed that like PR wise, she was getting a lot of backlash, and now the divorce, and now this, which is like one of the worst things I think we've ever heard in her career. Like, I mean, this Wicked thing has been a disaster, and like Wicked being shut down because of the strikes as well, and like obviously, which is way more important, and I stand with all the writers, by the way. But it's just like everything bad that's happened in her like career in the last like year or so was pushed into such a small time frame of when she started doing Wicked, and it's crazy. And I mean, this is like insane. I mean, once you start getting called like a homewrecker online and stuff like that, and it's so though the two don't seem to be romantically involved, he's married to a man. It did raise some eyebrows that she wasn't wearing her wedding ring. News of her separation broke the next day. And now, by the way, I believe that her going out to Wimbledon and not seeing her ring was a PR move. It's a very common for celebrities to do that, kind of like teasing the news, let the media break it first, and then you do it. It's kind of like it's a smart thing that happens in media. That made sense. So why did Grande and Gomez break up? I keep thinking of Selena Gomez. No, it's Dalton Gomez. What does homewrecking mean? Chat is asking. It's basically breaking up like a family or a relationship or something like that. So some outlets reported that he was having trouble dealing with her fame. Because they got together during the pandemic, he didn't realize what a production it was to go out with her in public surrounded by security. Now, for me, I'm like, but you knew her for that amount of years, right? And surely you had open conversations, and it goes both ways. Ariana to him, and him that you didn't expect Ariana Grande to be a celebrity. I don't really get it. Grande is currently filming the Wicked movies in London, and apparently the relationship was in trouble by the time she left in December, and they were separated not long after that. Some reports say that he wanted to make things work, others say that he moved on. Now, this is weird because now the question comes into play of, okay, Ariana was separated when Wicked started, but was Ethan Slater, and he has a wife and he has a kid, like, was he separated, but Ariana was separated, so who initiated it, and who's more it? It has opened up this big thing where even her fan pages are like deactivating and being like, girl, we can't. All right. And she's already dating someone new question mark, as if the news about her marriage ending wasn't abrupt enough for many celebrity watchers. Just a few days after that came out, TMZ reported that Grande actually had a new fella. What British person wrote this? A different Wicked co-star named Ethan Slater, who's 31. Neither Grande nor Slater have confirmed this, however. But the wife is like going around the media and stuff now. So what's Ethan Slater's deal? He's playing a munchkin named Bach in Wicked to her Glinda the Good Witch. It's a take on The Wizard of Oz based on the hit Broadway play. It's his first big movie role and her first headlining one. Come to think of it, he's been an already known person on Broadway, having been nominated for a Tony in 2018 in his starring role in SpongeBob the Musical as SpongeBob. I'm thinking of, I saw videos on Twitter of him playing SpongeBob, and he was like, hello, and doing the voice, and I was like, God, I can't take you seriously. He's like, hello, and I was like, I just can't take you seriously. Did you know that there's a SpongeBob played by Ethan Slater under Ocean Boulevard? So, his starring role in What Bob the Whaticle, SpongeBob SquarePants, the Broadway musical, where he played the sponge. The musical got good reviews on its opening in 2017 and only ran for about a year. So, Ariana is dating a man whose role have included Sponge and Munchkin. Can we get a visual? Yes, you may. His appearance prompted a lot of discussions online. Grande is, in addition to being rich and famous, very beautiful. This is so shady. They're basically being like, she's beautiful, he's ugly. This is literally what this is about. It's saying that people are saying that he's not bad looking, but he's not handsome in any way. So they're literally just professionally calling Ethan Slater ugly. That would break me. If, like, they didn't just call me ugly. They were like, you're not ugly, but, like, you're really, really, really not attractive. That hurts more than if you had just called me ugly. So they're talking about how she enjoys people who are not conventionally handsome, and they make reference to her brief engagement to Pete Davidson, which is just like crazy that they're like, here's another unattractive person. I'm like, great. All right, what's the problem? Slater was, until very recently, by most accounts, not single. He and his now ex, Lily J, met in high school and have been married for 4 years, and in August 2022... they had a son together. So basically, high school sweethearts. Oh my God, this is worse than I thought. High school sweethearts. They've been married for 4 years, and they had a baby in August of 2022. Their baby is not even 1 year old yet. Not even 1 year old yet. Yeah, it's an unfortunate situation. Reporters even mentioned that Grande had hung out with the couple as friends many times and had met their baby. Listen, if all the wife is doing is calling around the news outlets, she's a better woman than me. She's a better woman than me. Grande and Slater's camps have asserted their side of the story, though, which is that the two didn't begin dating until all of their respective relationships were over because, again, both of them were in marriages and one of them had kids. Or kids, sorry. And the fact that they're like, they didn't start dating until both of them had broke up with their partners is a crazy statement. But Slater reportedly filed for divorce on Wednesday. On Wednesday? Like, on Wednesday. It's currently Friday when I'm filming this. On Wednesday. Leading to the argument that this is not a settled matter, but an ongoing one. And if it's an ongoing one, then you would think it's something that happened recently. So, filed for divorce on Wednesday. It is Friday right now. God, he just looks like Frankie Grande, doesn't he? Ariana Grande's BF, Ethan Slater, files for divorce from wife. On Wednesday? Here he is. Here he is. SpongeBob. Here's him and his wife. Here's Ariana and her husband. Girl, I don't even know what to say. All right, what do their exes have to say about the timeline? So Jay, which is Ethan Slater's ex-wife, or still wife, they're still married, isn't having Grande and Slater's version of events, and sources have countered their claims of innocence with reports that the two of them have been canoodling on set in London for a bit now. After news of Slater's divorce filing, Page 6 reported that Jay blasted Grande as not a girl's girl and blamed her for making their family, fall apart. Now, I'm going to say something. I'm not a girl, but if someone referred to me as not a girl's girl, you would break me. You would break me. I feel like that is like one of the harshest things someone can say about someone. Like, you could call me all the names under the sun, even though I'm not a girl. If you call me not a girl's girl, I think that is crazy to be called, and is such a good job. I'm kind of on the wife's side completely. Ariana, babe, I'm on the wife's side completely. Like, 100%. My parasocial love for Ariana Grande can only go so far. Especially when you're not giving me new music. Alright, so she's saying that Ariana is not a girl's girl and has caused so much damage to the family. In their new romance. Though we don't have specifics about who broke up with who, it's safe to assume that Jay suspects that Grande and Slater started their thing before his relationship with Jay was even fully over. Or she just felt otherwise disrespected in some way by the spectacle he made out of his new relationship, and all whilst having a new baby. You can see why she might be pissed enough to call tabloids, or at least agreeing to respond when tabloids call her. She's completely valid to do that. I think this full thing about not talking to the media is so annoying and so outdated. If this woman who has like an 11-month-old baby on her right now, husband is out fucking Ariana Grande, she has every right to spend all day telling the media stories. All day. All day. All day to do that. I can help her call. I can hold the phone. You know what I mean? I can take a message for her. You know what I mean? I can pass it along. I'm on her side 100% with this. Because Ariana's camp are obviously doing the PR thing of like not responding to it. And then you go on Twitter, right? Let me find this. Got a beast inside and I'm waking it up. Got a beast inside and I'm waking it up. So you go on Twitter and you see the following. Ignore that someone wrote, oh my god, it's Ariana Grande and Ice Spice. Ignore that. Here is Ariana Grande, her friend, and Ethan Slater. I think this was for her birthday in London. They went to like an executive, like secret only place that you obviously have to be like some form of celebrity to get into. And they, have been hanging out for a long time. I'm just trying to find the exact information on this, because I don't want to misquote this, but it was really, really... Oh my god, Ariana Grande cheater is currently trending on Twitter. All right, here we go. Ariana Grande celebrated her 30th birthday with Ethan Slater at a private getaway at Soho Farmhouse 3 weeks before their romance was even reported as starting. Grande's friend Doug was also pictured with the alleged couple. So, basically, this photo is from weeks before the media were told that they even started dating. And Ariana was hanging out with him for her birthday. And this was a long time before they started, where it even hit the media. Alright. So then it goes on that the wife feels disrespected, and that's why she's calling the tabloids. And again, she has every right to do that. Every right to do that. Every right to call the media. And here's the thing as well. If people think that she doesn't have any right to call the media, then I just don't understand what your thinking is. Because for me, it's not only is she completely valid in saying that, and speaking up as well, but this is someone who is dealing with postpartum, literally an 11-month baby, right? And also, has just found this out. Has just found this out. All right. Continuing on. Though Jay actually once wrote a piece for Slate about an experience meeting President Joe Biden as a SA survivor and advocate, she did not call us to badmouth Grande. What? Oh, they're saying that... Okay, I was wondering what their point was there. They're saying that the wife has reached out to Slate before to have them cover a story, but she didn't respond to their comment for this one. That was what that was. I was wondering what that was. TMZ reported on Friday that Slater was surprised by Jay's comments and that she told him she didn't realize that she was on the record. Is it true? Is Grande not a girl's girl? It goes, well, that's a pretty subjective question, but Grande hasn't classically represented herself as a girl's girl. It's hard to do so when you have a song called Break Up With Your Girlfriend, I'm Bored. Rumors have also emerged on social media asserting that Grande has a history of being the other woman. Lana Del Rey has one of the best songs called... Oh, sorry, it's not on the screen. Lana Del Rey has an incredible song called The Other Woman. It goes, The Other Woman. Listen to it. It's so good. I love that song by Lana Del Rey. The Other Woman. It's so good. So that's Ariana. And breaking up relationships. It's been alleged that it also happened when she first started dating people like Big Sean and Pete Davidson. Rumors... So, girl, they're calling you out on a pattern. Girl, they got your ass. They've got your ass. They're calling you out on a pattern here. And I remember the drama with Big Sean whenever she started dating him. Was it the ex-girlfriend or the ex-wife of Big Sean? I remember being a 14-year-old kid and seeing all that happen on social media, and I was like, what is happening? It's crazy. Rumors of this nature are obviously notoriously very hard to verify. We don't know the exact details about how each couple got together, only the people involved do. And her fans are doing their best to fight them by, rebuking them on social media. These rumors have also prompted a lot of discussion about misogynistic behavior, misogyny, and why women bear the brunt of the blame in such situations. Well, here's the thing that's my opinion on women bearing the brunt of these things. I think that women get it harder in the media, and that's a given. I think that the media and the general public are much harsher on women than they are on men. I think that men are much harder on women than what they are on men, and I think that women are much harder on women than men. But I think that it's valid to say that they're both equally in the wrong, but people putting a lot of examples of same behavior together and calling Ariana out for it, in my opinion, is not misogynistic. I think it's showing that there's a pattern of behavior. I do believe that the media are much harsher on women. I think that they're much harsher on women. But I think that the reason that most of the brunt of this is on Ariana Grande is because no one knows who the fuck Ethan Slater is. I don't give a shit if he played SpongeBob in Broadway. Like, someone said we would do the same for Ethan if he was famous. Yeah, let me get back on focus. Hey. Here's the thing. The reason that it's so focused on Ariana right now is because she's done this before, allegedly. And also, no one knows who the fuck Ethan Slater is. So that's why the focus is on Ariana. Obviously, the media is way more intense on women, and it's so awful that that's what the media is like. But I think within this situation, the reason that the brunt is on Ariana is because she's done this before, and also, no one knows who this man is. So I think that's the reason. But I do think that it's a valid, thing about, like, women brunting, the full blame on situations like this. But I think that Ariana is so guilty of doing this many times before. And I mean, that song, and you know what? I have it in my heart to forgive her because it's a good song, Break up with your girlfriend because I'm bored. The song slaps. However, I mean, the examples are there. And I think that people calling her out for that and her being the forefront of this, is it misogynistic that Ariana's getting the brunt of this blame? Yes. Does it make sense that she's getting the brunt of the blame? Yes. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. Possibly. Someone said, yeah. All right. I've seen all kinds of weird explanations for this supposed pattern of behavior, ranging from Grande being surrounded by people who don't tell her no. Don't you hear that so often whenever someone does something bad? They're surrounded by yes people. It's one of the most commonly used things to excuse behavior, by the way. To her being really short and therefore an evil gnome? Okay, this person's journalist was giggling when writing that. But again, her lyrical output does offer some support to the attracted to shiny things narrative. In Seven Rings, good song, Grande sings about how she can get anything she wants. And they quote, I see it, I like it, I want it, I got it. Which in theory is very ironic to look at this situation in. But again, that song slaps. I love that song. I see it, I want it. Got it. You like my hair? Gee, thanks. She's mostly talking about buying things, but we can see how it can apply to other factors of her life. Grande is really developing a reputation for having an interesting love life, isn't she? She sure is. She's beginning to rival Taylor Swift. Okay. So here's the thing. Even if you're making a point, that's misogynistic. And I think the journalist is a woman. Yeah, I think. But even though they're making a comparison to Taylor Swift being called out for her relationships, that's misogynistic. Like, that's misogyny within the media. Like, this person has just shown that. Like, bringing Taylor Swift into this is so crazy, even if you're going to make the argument of this is how the media looked at Taylor Swift. Because the media, the Taylor Swift thing is that Taylor Swift had a lot of partners. And by the way, Taylor Swift has not had as many partners as what people like to insinuate. But even if Taylor Swift had, and let me tell you something, I'm a Swiftie, so like, and even if Taylor Swift had 10 times the amount of partners as what she actually did, who cares? She's not, from my knowledge, I don't know. She isn't like an active person who's breaking up relationships. I may be wrong. I'm a Swiftie, but I'm a Swiftie in terms of music. Don't care about this woman's life. So to compare Ariana Grande, like, always getting with people who are already in relationships to Taylor Swift just dating, multiple people is such a weird comparison. And that is like media misogyny. Let me tell you something. I adore Taylor Swift. I love Taylor Swift. And I only became a Taylor Swift fan properly in the pandemic. And I know all the Swifties out there are going to hate me. I always liked Taylor Swift singles. I always, loved, the singles that would come out in the albums. I had not listened to any of Taylor Swift's albums until Folklore. And I fell in love with Folklore, and then I started going through her albums. And I'm a very proud Swiftie now. But in the moment of, like, listening to her singles and stuff whenever I was growing up, like, because my mom always used to play them. My mom loved Taylor Swift. It was crazy, like, reading the media stories about, it was literally like Taylor Swift with a new man every single week. And that wasn't true. You know what I mean? That literally wasn't true. But even if that was true, it's nobody's fucking business. And to compare that to someone dating people who are still married and don't even have a 1-year-old, like, is so unrelated and just is like, that is misogyny. That is media misogyny that you have just displayed. Like, even if this journalist is a woman can still be misogynistic. And to make the point of, are people coming down so heavily on Ariana because they just hate women? You're making an argument about a time when people were just hating Taylor Swift because she was a woman. And she was also a young girl, just doing young girl shit. And I don't understand how Taylor Swift was dating people that were much older than her, and yet she was the one that was in the wrong for a lot of that as well. It was just really fucking weird. Don't get me started. I could do a dissertation on Taylor Swift. During the pandemic, my special interest was Taylor Swift. Literally. Once I got into Folklore, bitch, and once she came out with Evermore right after it, my special interest became Taylor Swift. I could do a dissertation on Taylor Swift. It was a COVID special interest. And I'm so excited to see the Eras tour. And people may hate me for going because I wasn't a fan until the pandemic. But I got the tickets, not you, so fuck you. Actually, my friend bought them for me. Anyway, she sure is. She's beginning to rival Taylor Swift circa 2012 in that retrospect, as her tabloid persona frequently revolves around her serial dating. Well, okay, but it's not the same thing. This is not like, when has the media covered Ariana Grande in Ariana Grande with new man every week? No, they're like, Ariana Grande every year is with a new married man or something like that, right? And then making money off of the drama from music or something like that. Swift showed that this can be an attention-getting career move, but it can also be a massive fallout in one's personal life. The similarities may end here, though, as Ariana's image is very different than Swift's, where Swift positions herself as fans' best friends. Grande has always been seen as more of a diva, and mini Mariah, both in pipes and personality. That's interesting. I've never looked at Ariana like that. In 2014, whenever, I was a fan of Ariana, like major, she was dubbed as a diva. It was like, Ariana Grande is a diva. She has to be carried everywhere. Ariana Grande is a diva. Like, all like this. And I don't think I ever got that from Ariana. And by the way, like, I think the media as well, here we're seeing it again, love to, like, paint women as divas if they're, like, even if they're just passionate about something, or if they know what they want, they're a diva. I mean, Madonna has spoken about this, and Mariah has spoken about this. Like, Mariah spoke about this in her book, and she was like, whenever people call me a diva, I'm taking it as a compliment now. And I don't look at Ariana Grande as a diva, nor do I look at Mariah Carey as a diva, but I look at Mariah Carey as a diva. I don't look at Mariah Carey as a diva. Do you know the difference? Like, I look at Mariah Carey as a diva. Like, she's everything. She is, like, she is a diva. She's not a diva. There's a difference. She's not a diva. She's a diva. There's a difference there. A mini Mariah, blah, 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 blah. While one wonders what these other women allegations may mean for her stardom, stars like Elizabeth Taylor and Angelina Jolie have been there and survived it. Still, all this can't be good for the Wicked movie. It's starting to sound like another Don't Worry, Darling, which I think is exactly what this is sounding like. Like, this Wicked movie is already sounding like a disaster. And by the way, once this press tour, did anyone catch that? I have never said that in my entire life. Once that press tour, I have never done that in my entire life. Let's pretend we didn't hear that. Once this... Whoa. I have never said that before. Once this press tour... Did I say tour? Tour? Once this press tour starts, it's going to take away from the movie, right? So here's what's going to happen. Once Wicked comes out, one of two things is going to happen. Ariana and Ethan are still going to be together. Should I pull up the scary picture again? This is so... Y'all fucking? That's crazy. Oh, I need to get off my screen. It's like staring at me. Once the press tour starts, one of two things is going to happen. They're either still going to be together and the entire press tour is going to be focused around the fact that their relationship exists, or they're going to be broken up and the press tour is going to be focusing on the fact that they had a brief relationship. The movie is now like destined to be focused around Ariana and Ethan's relationship. Does anyone agree? Does anyone agree? Like, people live for drama. People live especially for movie drama. Like movie drama. And by the way, the movie companies love it. Love it. Love it. Like, because look at Don't Worry Darling. No one would have cared about it if there wasn't drama alongside it. So the movie is going to be overshadowed in two ways. And it's the only two things that can happen. They're either going to be still together and that's all the focus, or they're going to be not together and the focus is going to be the fact that they were together at a certain time. So, my opinion of this, Ariana girl, I know being called not a girl's girl has been a sting of your life. I just think that this is incredibly distasteful. I mean, if you want to find like a goofy ass, you know, you could have found them anywhere. Like, did you really, like, it goes both ways, you know what I mean? Like, you were married, okay, right, fine. Not even fine, but, like, fine. He was married, but, like, also, like, his kid isn't even a year old yet, and allegedly you were, like, hanging out with his kid as well, with his wife. Like, girl, like, even if you wanted that dick so bad, don't. You know what I mean? Don't. Like, there's other, like, ugly guys out there that you can go for. So, I don't know, this is not a good look. And it's going to completely take away from the movie. But I know the movie executives are going to be living for it. Like, living for it. Anyway, that's my take on that.